Hello and welcome to Ministry of Offence, the show that's a bit like an FBI raid on Donald Trump's house. It happens unexpectedly, it's sort of funny, and you know you're going to find something extremely offensive. I'm your host, Stephen Allen, and I'm going to start with a quick recap of the news you might have missed. Donald Trump's Florida home was raided this week. Agents even broke into his safe, apparently after a lucky guess revealed the passcode to be T-R-M-M-P. The FBI knocked on the door and asked if it was okay to grab some boxers, and Donald said, yes, as long as you're famous. Boris and Carrie went on a luxury mini-moon in Slovenia. It was a tricky start to the holiday. Boris nearly went on his own as there was a misunderstanding when the budget airline said he couldn't take his carry-on. The luxury resort boasts vegan toiletries. I've tried vegan toiletries, and they're great. Yes, the soap's a little bit chewy, but when I farted later, it came out in bubbles. Rishi Sunak has been caught telling Tunbridge Wells he'd divert money their way that was originally intended for deprived inner cities. Fair's fair, we hear a lot about the homeless, but always forget the second homeless. Some in the audience looked uncomfortable about receiving money from deprived areas until Rishi assured them that all the coins would be thoroughly disinfected. Reports revealed that Keir Starmer broke parliamentary guidelines 8 times. But they were all minor and no action was needed, which ironically is Keir's mission statement. This in the same week that former Labour PM and longtime bagpuss impersonator Gordon Brown called for an emergency budget. Did you hear that, Keir? You're being out-charismaed by Gordon Brown. It's like losing a game of scissor, paper, stones to Abu Hamza. And that's your weekly roundup. Time to get on with the show. Of course, no panel show is complete without panellists. So first, let's meet the teams. Fighting for the left is a team captain who's taking the spot of this country's only ever female team captain on a topical news show. So tonight, he's getting paid less and looking forward to being constantly interrupted by the men. It's Josh Howie. And his teammate is a man who's followed in the footsteps of Tim Westwood and Jimmy Savile. He was a Radio 1 DJ. Don't make your own jokes up. Come on, it's Tom Deacon. And fighting for the right is a team captain who, ironically, is the strongest argument I've ever seen for cancel culture. It's Leo Kearse. And Leo is joined by a comedian who's about to bring out a book called The New Puritans, which has had impressive pre-sales, although half of them are just so they can burn them. It's Andrew Doyle. So here at Ministry of Offence, we ask our teams to tell us which minister they would like to be. So Leo, I'm going to start with you and your team. What are you the minister of?
I'm the minister of coping with the hot weather, because it is awfully hot. Man, it's so hot, I've had to start drinking water again. Honest to God, water. Like, nobody in Scotland drinks water. We just absorb moisture from the air around us, like some sort of desert lizard. You know what I mean? Just settles in our backs and drips into our mouths slowly. Like, I've started drinking. I'm still only going for about one urination every week. It comes out like espresso. It's mad. It's like a balsamic reduction. So yeah, I recommend drinking water instead of Buckfast.
And Andrew?
I'm going to be the minister for the LGBT community, although I do think we need a rebrand, you know, because a lot of my friends have started to self-identify and they say, oh, speaking as an LGBT person. And I just think you can't be an LGBT person, can you? You can't be lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender. Or if you are, you must be bloody exhausted. You know? Although now it's LGBTQIA+. You know, if you're stuck on that, it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersexual, asexual, and then the plus is whatever we've forgotten, basically.
I love that asexual is now in the acronym, like, because asexual people are obviously, you know, famously very discriminated against. You know, there's a lot of dads being like, you know, when you're living under my roof, you're going to suck it. I mean, asexual people are literally doing what the religious right and every sort of anti-sex person wants them to do. Nobody has ever discriminated against asexual people. They've given them jobs in the hierarchy.
Fair enough. And over to this team. Josh, what are you the minister of?
I've decided to be the Minister of Leadership Elections. And I'd say that my job is to remain totally impartial, Liz Truss, regardless, Liz Truss, what Liz Truss means, Liz Truss, for my Liz Truss future political career. Liz Truss.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah.
Tom?
Thanks, Steve, for asking this. I've thought long and hard about what I would be the minister of, and I've gone with minister without portfolio. I didn't realise this was an actual thing where someone has a minister role but doesn't actually have to do anything. You've got no responsibility, no roles, but you're part of the cabinet and you just sort of mill about. If Boris wants a massage, you go, yeah, sure, I can do that. And also, obviously, there's no specific responsibilities. Oh, by the way, can I say, when I say I'm minister without portfolio, it doesn't mean I'm looking after stationery in the house. I'm not. I mean, I love stationery, but I'm not looking after the clipboards or portfolios. I'm just going to be there to say, hey, Josh, you're doing a great job.
Beautiful. Now that's the introductions out of the way. Let's get this show started with the first round, which is Viral Load. Each week, the teams pick a viral video, a meme or a tweet that's caught their eye. It could be political or it could just be something that they find weird or amusing. I will decide which one is most point-worthy. This week, we're going to start with Leo. So what have you got for us today?
Well, you know, there's been a brain drain from Russia. So anybody with a brain has been leaving Russia because it's gone a bit rubbish, more rubbish than it was. So the Russian government has brought out this video to try and encourage people from the West to move to Russia.
Right, let's take a look.
This is Russia. Delicious cuisine. Beautiful women. Cheap gas. Rich history. World-famous literature. Unique architecture. Traditional values. Christianity. No cancel culture. Economy that can withstand thousands of sanctions. Time to move to Russia. Don't delay. Winter is coming.
End on a threat.
Yeah, or either that or a new season of Game of Thrones. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I mean, they say there's no cancel culture, but that's very much dependent on if you say anything about the Russian government or the war in Ukraine. They've cancelled quite a lot of people and sent them to gulags. Also, they say they've got beautiful women, then they show a couple of 6-year-olds. Are they going after, left-wing people? People who work for the BBC? Grooming gangs? It's bizarre. They say... but yeah, and they sort of paint themselves as having, being the sort of bastion of Christendom, preserving family values and Christianity and all this sort of stuff. But he's using Chechen Islamists and Islamist fighters from Syria to commit war crimes in the Donbass, east of Ukraine. So that's a load of bollocks. Not very funny, but it is bollocks.
So you're saying Putin, not a good guy?
Putin, not... I mean, okay. These things are relative, you know what I mean? But now that Tony Blair's off the world scene, Putin is starting to look like a bit of a bad guy.
But do you not think that video looks like they're trolling us?
They are.
I mean, that's a joke. I mean, it makes me think, well, I might move to Russia. They've got a sense of humour. I quite liked it.
Yeah, because they got a sense of humour till you get there and you crack a joke.
And they do want people like me sort of locked up for being gay. Yeah. And I'm all for that. Like, I've got a lot of internalised homophobia.
You'd love it in prison.
There's a lot of advantages.
Actually, yeah, it doesn't.
Sort of burly men. Anyway.
Ooh la la lag.
Russian bears.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should be grateful that they sent us a video as like their tourism enticement, because like their Ukrainian tourism campaign is basically to get all of Ukraine to move to Russia by becoming Russia. So it's a little bit more extreme.
So you think the war at the moment is extreme tourism?
Yes, it's a whole new thing.
Surprise! You're now on holiday in Russia.
Yeah, that's it. Like, look, their no council culture was good. The 3 women, I don't know if we got the 3 women for the no council culture. There we are. So they got the sugar babes. Very, very strange campaign, really, all around.
I do like the idea of the culture thing. They've got an amazing culture. When I went to Moscow, they had, if you are out on a night out, you've had too much to drink, you could just hail any car. And there's a kind of tradition that they go, yeah, I'll take you home. It's fine. It's like the best British. Like if we get absolutely smashed, and you're just like, I'm just gonna get home. That's absolutely fine. And people will stop and go, yeah, I'm on in. It's like I love that tradition. But is it worth the hassle? Yeah. I mean, are they big on comedy?
Well, also you lost a kidney, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, what do you have for us?
Yeah. So this is a TV interview with a 9-year-old.
All right, let's take a look.
9-year-old Kieran Clausen collects crystals. She dabbles in face paint and she loves sports.
What do you play?
I did play volleyball, soccer, and I want to play basketball.
To Kieran, who's transgender, it's not about racking up victories.
I don't want to win any trophies for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
What's it about?
Having fun with your friends for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
Now, I don't know if you can see exactly what's going on there, but her dad seems to be mouthing her words. I mean, I actually got very upset when I first saw it. It's outrageous and chilling, I think, to allow a 9-year-old to get earrings. This is the bit I don't get. Her mum is like, obviously, non-gender conforming, i.e. she's got short hair, she's not wearing a dress or anything like that. So she's not, yet her mum's allowed to be non-gender conforming, but seemingly she's not allowing her son/daughter to be themselves. You know what I mean? Or not?
Are you implying that mother in some way was controlling the child, who clearly had learnt the script very well?
I just think, I mean, as Josh has touched on here, 9-year-old, you shouldn't be dabbling in face paint at 9 years of age. That's what she's dabbling in that, and a little bit of crystals here and there, in the hope, I think, that the crystals are going to make Kieran better at sport, because that's really what the issue is here. The parent has tried to protect their child and say, look, it's not about winning trophies. You at the sport, that's fine. It's about taking part.
Okay, your take on it? I'm presuming not the same.
No, we're wildly supportive of parents coercing their children into transitioning.
That's the typical right-wing view on this stuff. Yeah.
How do you know it's not that the child has
coerced the parent into transition?
Like in X-Men, like she can just project.
She is an X-Man.
Very good.
Man, whenever I see a trans child, it's like seeing a vegan dog. You know the dog hasn't made that decision. It's the owners come along and projected those values onto it. It's mental. But yeah, it said she's into crystal. Well, I'll give it about 3 years until she's into crystal meth.
Well, okay, I think out of those, the most point-worthy video came from the blue team. Moving on now to the next round, which is clickbait. Yes, in this round we give our team some news stories and task them to come up with some headlines. Now, in true tabloid style, these headlines need to be funny, punny or downright sensational. Basically anything that's going to draw you in as clickbait. OK, blue team, see what you can do with this one. DIY store Wix is facing a backlash after the float it sponsored at Brighton Pride carried the slogan "No LGB without the T." The company's attempt to promote trans rights backfired as youth charity worker Nick Buckley posted, "Companies are now telling gay people what they should accept, all in the name of diversity. Any gay people use Wix? Will you continue?" Do you use Wix, Andrew?
I hadn't heard of Wix before this, so maybe it's worked. Their advertising has worked. But it's a bit complicated because they put a big sign up saying ban trans conversion therapy, which doesn't mean what you think it means. What it means is that they don't support kids who are struggling with their gender, talking to therapists and working out what the problem might be. They support the gender affirmative model, which was promoted by Tavistock, and the Tavistock clinic has just been shut down for being unsafe for gay kids. So effectively, Wix are saying they support the sterilisation of gay children. And they're meant to sell hammers, aren't they?
Yeah, but that didn't fit on the poster. That's the problem.
No.
Yeah.
But why do they get involved anyway? Who's going to Homebase to ask about their views on Taiwan?
I think other businesses should take on this kind of advertising. Like, you can do it if you LGBT and Q it.
I just wish corporations would stay out of stuff they clearly don't understand. Because they've effectively just gone to a Pride event to announce that they support homophobia.
For me, though, it's Wix saying, look, we do building stuff, and basically builders like tea. And that's really what they're pushing. They're going, look, guys, we just play it safe.
So my headline is Wix backs Lady.
What about DIY shop promotes DIY genders?
What about wicks for when you want to build a stone wall?
Hey. We're going to move on now. Let's see what the Reds can do with this story. A family on a river walk near Catford in London was shocked when they stumbled upon a large cache of firearms and ammunition that had been dumped in the water. The stash found by a teenager included a revolver and an Uzi submachine gun, as well as bullets. Local police said, "Please be aware when letting your children play in the river." Thoughts on that?
It just goes to show how dangerous paddling can be in London. So if that is the case, I feel like the headline should be, it's not Catford anymore, it's Gatford.
Yeah! I like that one.
Street crime moves to stream crime. All right, now we're getting on a roll. Here we go. Family out paddling and managed to pick up a Magnum.
The other side of the story is robber holds up bank with trout.
Any thoughts over here?
I haven't got any. Isn't this just what Catford's like? Someone said to me, why is it news? Yeah. I'd be surprised if you didn't find some machine guns in a stream.
I mean, the surprising thing is that somebody decided to go paddling in a river in South London. I know what this family outing needs, some tetanus.
I believe it was found on a weekday, so the best headline couldn't be "Oozy like a Sunday morning."
Well done. All of those were great, but there can only be one winner. And for that round, it's the red team. It's time for a break now, which gives you enough time to get your hose pipe out before they ban it. Not that one, Bob, you deviant.
My name is Andrew Doyle. Join me every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Free Speech Nation. This is a show where we address current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panellists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
Welcome back to Ministry of Offence, in a week where we learn that Russia may get help from North Korea in Ukraine. If Putin's lucky, they'll send Kim Jong-un's personal guard, the 2,000-man elite force deployed to protect his jammy dodgers. We're still here with Leo Kearse, Andrew Doyle, Josh Howie and Tom Deacon, and it's time for our next round, Masturbate. In this round, we discuss the biggest news story of the week, which we've decided is the cost of living, and the planned gas bill payment strike, Don't Pay UK. Let's remind ourselves why we're talking about this.
One campaign group are calling for people to stop paying their energy bills altogether if companies don't reduce them to an affordable level by the 1st of October.
But is refusing to pay the right way to protest about price hikes? Here's what you had to say.
Something has to be done, and maybe if that's a solution or if that helps, people have to take a stance in some way.
I don't think not paying bill is a legitimate way to protest because, well, you use the facilities, you have to pay for it, right?
If you're desperate and you've got a choice between feeding your kids, then yeah, I think it's fair.
I don't know if anyone would listen to it, if it would make a difference.
If we all did it together, then I think it would help.
Josh, I'm going to come to you first. What would you like to say about Don't Pay UK?
I just think it's a great idea. I think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who would be upset by this, you know, fans of nipples. We're going to be seeing a lot of those. It's going to be getting pretty cold. In fact, if it all kicks off in Ukraine or Taiwan, this could actually, I guess, be good training for a nuclear winter. What's about to happen. But I think, yeah, it's a good idea. They've signed up about 100,000 people so far. They say they won't actually implement it until it's 1 million. I wonder if October 1st is too soon, because I don't know if enough people are going to have momentum and also to feel the cold and then go, wait a minute, and also to really appreciate how high the prices are going to get. But I think it's good, and actually I think we should go a little bit further. I think we should cancel all of our direct debits as well. And also I think we should bring, we can do without the electrical companies and the whatever. Let's bring back chimneys. right? You know, schools are going to close because the electricity is too expensive. That's good. Chimney sweeps.
Children ones?
Yeah.
Young children?
Young children.
Earning a wage as well? Bare peas?
Absolutely, helping the economy.
Yeah.
And obviously they'll, die earlier.
Sure. NHS, what the waiting time?
Saving time on the NHS. I mean, really, it's win-win.
Yeah, I think let's just do it. Let's Robin Hood it, like proper 1991, Kevin Costner, Prince of Thieves. I just think we just say no. Like, we're not doing it. And that 1st of October, and the companies, like you say, they've got 7 billion profit, that's BP. And then they're suddenly, oh no, they actually went ahead with it. They stuck together. And then the lines the next day will be so full of people going, I made a mistake, please don't cut me off. I think we have to do something. So let's just make a stand. Let's be like the French. Let's strike. Everyone's striking, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's get on. We can strike now.
It'll be, you know what it'd be like? It'd be like the 90s, it'd be like the poll tax. Was that that was 17 million people refusing to pay, and then that was an amazing time. Then there was like rave culture. That's going to help keep us warm.
Yeah.
All of us dancing in warehouses together, and then it'll be like the summer of love. I think it's
yeah,
join in.
And after all of that COVID, neighbourly thing, now we can redivide. Throw stones at your next door neighbour. Oi, Kathy, you paid. Yeah, scab. I think that'll bring us all together in a way, just get back to being British.
You can't not pay for a service because you're slightly disgruntled with the service. This is like, I'm disgruntled with my supermarket because they stopped doing 2 for 1 on pineapple squash. But I can't just get my stuff for free, can I? This is ridiculous. So let them not pay. Let them refuse to pay, because the good thing about being in prison is, you don't have to worry about heating bills, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand the annual cost of energy is going to go up. Heating bills are going to go up to, I think it's £4,300, which is a lot of money for a lot of these protesters. That's about £4,290 more than they earn every year. But these are the same people who oppose fracking, oppose North Sea oil, oppose nuclear power. So, yeah, maybe it's time, for these things to come home to roost. They all seem to think that the energy companies have got all the energy. They're just not giving it over for, cheap enough. And yet, all right, BP, some of the energy companies are making a bit of money. Oh, heaven forbid that somebody should make $1.01 in this world. You know what I mean? How evil is that?
Yes.
Imagine
times
making
that by
some
7
money.
billion.
All right, 7 billion. Remember in the pandemic, in lockdown, when oil, because nobody's using it, actually went to negative value for a bit. So you had to pay somebody to take it away. Oil had the same value as a mattress on a pavement. It was, nobody was like, oh, we need to help out BP. It's like, no, they were, now BP get to make money. Like, people are saying, oh, but I can't afford to feed my kids. It's like, what, you got kids? You got to eat your kids. You know what I mean? Why don't you rub your kids together until they get hot enough to heat the family home?
We're clapping for trying to start a fire by rubbing 2 dry kids together. Is that?
Yeah, I think the high prices are good. It brings families together, for bodily warmth anyway.
Yeah.
It's, people are worried about the elderly, but they're always saying stuff like, oh, I can't feel my legs. So do they need heating anyway?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a typical British person, this could be the first time you've ever had a hug from your emotionally stunted father.
Could we not solve the problem with an honesty box? I always find that works. Where the energy company's like, all right, we'll make an honesty box, and you have to pay what you think you owe. That could work for a little while, a couple of years, and then hope it just sorts itself out, all of that oil and gas.
Well, you all made some good points, but ultimately it's up to me to decide who made the most convincing arguments there, and I think the most compelling statements came from Leo's team, so the points go to the Blues.
BS. Absolute BS.
Now we've decided that, let's move on to our next round, which is Lie Detector. Our teams have shown some newspaper stories from this week, and they must decide which parts of each story are true and which are false. So it's fingers on buzzers. Can you spot the lie in this first story? A French scientist who posted an image of what he said was a distant star on Twitter has admitted that it was actually a picture of a cat's bottom. Etienne Klein played the joke as a warning against believing fake news and admitted no object within the category of a feline's backside exists anywhere other than on Earth.
It's not a cat's anus because I saw the video of it and at no point during the 3-second clip did it get licked.
Any other ideas?
I think...
Come in.
Joke. I don't know. I think that it was like never meant to be a picture of a star. I think that's what it is. I think it's like a double bluff. I think he's been taking lots of photos of cats' bums, and then his wife or friend found the phone and said, "What the hell are all these pictures of cat bums?" And he's like, "No, that's a star. That's for work, that is."
Sadly, it's not the right answer, but it's a fascinating insight into your mind.
It's actually a photo of a slice of Spanish sausage, and he said it was Lindsay Lohan. That's the distant star.
You get the points for that's almost all absolutely spot on.
It was a sausage, wasn't it? It's a chorizo.
Yeah.
Yep, indeed.
Or if you want to be fancy, which they are in the solar system, chorizo.
Is that how you say it?
Chorizo.
Okay, it was a chorizo.
Is this like what scientists do? Like, because religious people like find like a picture of Jesus in some cheese or something. Is this what like scientists do? Is that they go, "Oh, look at that chorizo." Chorizo. That looks just like the Alpha Omega star.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
No, this sort of stuff makes me doubt scientists on everything. So I start thinking maybe gravity's a hoax.
Climate change. I bet that's all nonsense.
Well, yeah, I can tell you the correct answer is that a French scientist posted an online image of what he said was a distant star, has admitted that it was actually a picture of a slice of chorizo. Why didn't I think of that when I sent that pic? I should have said it was just a spicy sausage. Which, to be fair, it is, ladies. Okay, everyone, fingers on buzzers. Here comes the next story. People traffickers are using TikTok to offer complimentary gift bags to any illegal immigrants wanting to cross the channel illegally in a dinghy. These include protein bars, whistles and SIM cards. It comes amid reports that the price per person has dropped from around £20,000 to less than £5,000. What's the line there?
It's not people traffickers, it's EasyJet.
The price has dropped that far. Yeah, we wish.
In fact, that's at least you are going to ensure that you are going to make it back from your holiday when your flight's cancelled. This might be the way to go.
Is this the TikTok bit is the lie because you cannot be on TikTok and not dance, and that would be very dangerous on a boat trying to cross for safety. It's a TikTok bit, right?
Nope.
It's got to be that protein bar thing, SIM card. Oh no, that's quite a good idea, really, because then I think in Rwanda you can get quite a lot of money for that stuff.
Any ideas what the lie is?
I don't know, but that boat is slightly overloaded. I don't know much about boats, but I think they should be like on top of the water. I think people traffickers are using TikTok to advertise their services. I read that. I don't know if that's this story.
You're very close to the answer, but they're specifically advertising.
Oh, it's not it's something else. It's not protein bars and SIM cards. It's something else.
Yeah.
Amazon gift cards.
No.
It's a one-way ticket to Russia. Apparently, there's Christianity. There's no cancel culture.
Sugar babes are there.
It's something else. It's Fabergé eggs or something.
Is it a free house paid for by the UK taxpayer?
It's got to be Ferrero Rocher. Ooh, with these, they're really spoiling us. No?
No, I'll tell you the correct answer is that the people traffickers are using TikTok to launch a summer sale for illegal immigrants by slashing their prices, which is only fair because that's what the French are doing to their dinghies. So here's your last lie detector story. Fingers on buzzers for this one. Fashion house Balenciaga have teamed up with IKEA and are selling £1,470 bag hats, which have been inspired by the blue Bags for Life. The label's chief designer said, "I couldn't miss an opportunity to make the most expensive recycled hat in the world, because who doesn't love a fashion scandal?"
Is the real story that Sainsbury's have teamed up with Balenciaga to offer a bag that goes over your head and suffocates you, so you don't have to deal with the world anymore.
You can just use a normal Sainsbury's one for that.
No, it's got holes in it. Tried.
Any ideas over here?
If you took the IKEA bag and popped it on, that's far too big for a human head. So I think they're not going to make a hat out of it, surely.
They've made a hat. You can see it there. But also, I kind of believe the story because I know blue is very in this year.
Oh, yeah. And also there's a picture of the hat. So that kind of suggests it's true. That wasn't made in Photoshop.
In what proportion? What I'm saying
I'm just saying we don't have the budget to make that hat.
Right.
So
what I'm saying is that is not a human, because the bag's so big, that would be for a small person. I'm saying that's not a hat. That's what I'm saying. I can see it's a hat, but it's not in proportion, in scale. You could get underneath the hat. It's actually a tent.
Some kind of yurt.
Well, I can tell you the correct answer is that fashion house Balenciaga is selling a £1,470 trash pouch, which have been inspired by garbage bags. I bought my wife a knockoff one of those for a birthday. She was not happy. Probably should have taken the cat litter out of it before I gave it to her. Well, well done. So the winners of that round's the blue team.
Absolutely get smacked down.
Well, we're going to take a break now. You might want to take this opportunity to cool down. I'm going to swap the testicle I've got exposed for the other one. I've got a fan under the desk. All right, Leslie. We'll see you after this.
I'm Mark Dolan. Join me at 11 on GB News for Headliners, in which I'll be joined by two of the UK's top comedians discussing tomorrow's papers. If it's an important story, we'll cover it, but we'll have some fun along the way. Headliners, the late night paper review that won't send you to sleep like the others will. 7 nights a week at 11 PM on GB News.
Welcome back to Ministry of Offence in a week where Gordon Brown stated that crises don't take holidays, probably because they can't get a flight out of Heathrow. We're still here with Leo Kearse, Andrew Doyle, Josh Howie and Tom Deacon, and it's time for our next round, anti-social media. Yes, this is anti-social media, in which we look at online reactions to news and events. This week, our tweets are all about one person. So here's your first one. To be fair, blank is a farm horse that thinks he's a racing champion. Blank is more of a donkey that thinks it's a pony. Any ideas?
Black Beauty. To be fair, Black Beauty is a farm horse that thinks it's a racing champion. Black Beauty gets a lot of crap online. But lots of, real media storm.
Yeah.
A lot of hatred towards her.
Yeah. Most controversial thing you've said on the show. Shocking.
Yeah.
Definitely
don't agree with that.
It's two people, so it's got to be the leadership contest. So Sunak is a farm horse that thinks it's a racing champion, and Truss is a donkey that thinks it's a pony.
Okay, interesting. Well, let's have a look at the next one, see if this helps. And in this video, with every respect in the world, is why it would be useful to have an arts graduate on your team.
I was right. Black Beauty.
So that'll be the leadership content. It'll be a promotional video by Sunak or
because he was saying you shouldn't have any arts graduates because it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Art's a waste of time because it doesn't make any money.
I did a drama degree. Still paying it off.
Let's see if this one gives it away. I'm so jealous. I wish I came up with something this embarrassing.
That's the Don't Pay UK campaign. Is that? Would that? No. Okay, sorry. I was arguing for it earlier.
But that's Rosie Holt. So that'll be a satirical. She's saying she wished she'd come up. So it's so stupid. It must be satirical.
Sunak shredding the documents.
What was he doing?
Sunak. So he's saying he's going to shred all this EU legislation. But I don't know, it's never a good look for a politician to just be shredding loads of documents.
Yeah, that's the minister without portfolio. His role. He shouldn't be doing that.
He shredded it. That's where his portfolio went.
Yep, they are reacting to this video put out by Rishi. Let's take a look. Yep, he had to print that out before he shredded it as well, because everything's online these days. He's going to read all of those 2,400 rules. That's almost as many as the current Prime Minister broke. I suppose if you shred something, it doesn't mean it's not law anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to look into that.
Also, are we sure that that was him? That could have been a body double.
Yeah.
Mini body double.
Also, I feel like Rishi would have had a bit more bants in that and put kind of like a statement out like, the way I look at this legislation is, legislation. Am I right, guys? And no one would high-five him.
And then he'd raise taxes again. Raise taxes so high, even Jeremy Corbyn would wince.
These next ones are all about members of our very own panel. Who do you think this is about? Just worked out that blocky man, blank blank, is behind that ridiculous blank blank blank. I'm assuming he's blocked me because I've called it unfunny and utter bollocks.
Well, that's not even difficult.
I know who this has got to be, because you're always blocking people.
Yeah, and what's great is when they do a poll, how many of you are blocked by Andrew Doyle? I block that person's entire following list, so they get 100% result, really it up.
You can block a person's entire follower?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
It's called a blockchain.
Right.
It's so much... They get really, really angry, and I find that quite funny.
Essentially, you've blocked most of Twitter now.
No, like 60%. Oh, that is most of it. No. But it will be me. Unless you've been blocking some of your haters, Josh.
No, I actually quite like... I'm grateful.
For the attention?
I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll take it.
You've blocked some of them as well, because I've seen them complaining to me about you blocking them.
Yeah, I only do it when I know it's going to wind them up.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I never block anybody because they've actually said something that upsets me. It's just when I know it's going to wind them up.
Well, let's take a look, see if you're right. Yep, Andrew Doyle. OK, here's your next one. Blank blank is Norwegian for total...
That could be me as well, to be honest.
I gigged in Norway, did a lame joke about how they say, hey. They always sound very shocked. Even doesn't matter how far or close you are to them. If you go, hey, they go, hey. So you can even make eye contact with them and still go over and go, hey, and they go, hey.
Josh sounds like a Norwegian word.
No, my haters tend to not put asterisks in.
Oh, they're quite...
They go full out.
Yeah,
I wish they'd stop tweeting me that.
I think it's Leo Curse.
OK, all guesses in. Well, let's take a look. Yep, Leo Curse.
What happened there, Leo? What have you done to Norway?
I don't know. I ate some whale there. I went there and ate some whale. Before anybody gets upset that I ate whale, it's just a big cow that lives in the sea. So
they're all dead now.
In fact, it's ethically better to eat whale because you got to kill loads of cows to get the same amount of meat as you get from one whale. So everybody should start eating whale. Start saving the cows. Especially things that are smaller, like if you eat a squirrel, which you could do if you wanted, or a rabbit, that's even, you got to kill even more rabbits. So the bigger the animal, we should all be eating whales and elephants.
I think this person's actually got this person's got a point.
OK, here's your next one. Blank is the only person on TV equally entertaining to watch with the sound turned off.
That's me, because I'm so bloody Jewish. I use my hands a lot.
So it's
a compliment.
It's sort of a compliment,
that you gesticulate a lot.
Yeah, I say that I gesticulate, yeah, exactly.
Oh, and not that what you say is meaningless and could be edited out. Oh, no, I'm glad you gave me that. I didn't realise.
Yeah, thanks.
I just wish I had the optimism to see this as a compliment.
Mate, like I said, I'll take it. Grateful.
I think it's Josh as well.
Yeah,
I think it's
me.
Josh.
I do. I know it's me because I saw this tweet and I've really tried to keep my hands under the table.
That just looks worse. Because they still move. Well, let's see if you're right.
Yeah.
Yep, Josh Howie.
Thank you.
A signal for a plane.
That is a compliment, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Take it.
It's also a fact.
Well, here's your next one. Blank is a salty mess. Pass it on.
I don't even know what salty mess is. That a compliment? Salty mess?
It can be in certain circles.
It could be me.
Is it you? Have you seen this tweet?
No.
What does salty mess mean? Genuinely, you're the one who knows all the.
No, it means like if you're salty, you're a bit waspish, a bit isn't it? It's a bit like that, and a mess. So it'd be whoever's the campist here. You.
Who could that be?
I think you're just a bit like sour, salty. You're a bit like, oh, you've got a chip on your shoulder, you're holding on to something. And if you're a mess, you haven't got over it. So they're just saying...
Is this your ex or something?
Yeah, and that's fine. We've had time apart.
Jo, she's very attractive.
Yeah, and I liked pink hair, so it was bound to work.
That's going to be that kid in a couple of years.
Everyone think it's Tom,
Yeah,
including Tom. Yeah. Well, let's see if we're right. Yep, it's Tom Deacon. So you're a salty mess.
I actually hurt that comment. And that's I don't know what to do with that.
So at the end of that round, the points go to the blue team.
Definitely won that.
And it's time for the quickfire round. I'll be asking rapid-fire questions based on the news of this week. Our teams will have to buzz in and be the fastest to answer to gain the points. So it's fingers on buzzers. According to Ruth Davidson, how did Boris Johnson describe his time as Foreign Secretary?
Was it badly and with a lot of unnecessary long words?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hard to translate.
No. Anyone else? He described it as like being in a steel condom. Apparently due to civil servants protecting him from making too many gaffes. A new book about the Trump presidency claims Trump asked why his generals couldn't be more like what?
Stormtroopers.
No.
Is it Taylor Swift?
No,
because she's, resilient, she's industrious, innovative, a powerful woman.
And she's not a salty mess, which I am over.
Who's the guy who did the Civil War?
Oh, Custer.
Yeah.
General Custer.
Patton?
No.
Stalin.
Getting closer.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It was German generals, like in World War II.
Hitler?
Yep. He wanted more loyalty from his generals. A top general went on to explain to him that Hitler's generals tried to assassinate him 3 times. So maybe it wasn't a bad idea. How did decathlete Alberto Nino embarrass himself during this year's Commonwealth Games?
I know that is penis fell out.
It's the correct answer.
Was it big, Andrew?
Yeah, I was doing it's like that.
He still didn't win, even though it probably would have helped to break the ribbon. Would have done if I did it. What have the cities Inverness and Derby been named as being the cheapest for?
Heroin.
Not this week. Lager?
Yes, it's beer. Pints can be found at under £3.
Twice the price of heroin.
What is Harry and Meghan's daughter Lilibet set to inherit?
If you've seen Suits, you know it's acting.
No.
Is it a sense of entitlement?
I feel that it is. Yeah. It's £410,000 worth of jewellery from Princess Diana and Meghan Markle. It doesn't give me the split as to which percentage comes from Diana and which comes from Markle.
How did they get it back off Paul Burrell?
What has recently been identified as the second most used drug amongst 16 to 24-year-olds in the UK?
Is it laughing gas?
Yeah, nitrous oxide cylinders, better known as laughing gas. Yeah. Tried to get some for the audience tonight, but apparently we couldn't. What has Eon Productions suggested the next Bond must be?
Good.
A woman?
No.
A black woman?
No.
Unknown, because he's a spy.
Make a lot of sense. No? Anyone else? That it must be fresh-faced, under 40 and over 5'10" tall.
Fresh face?
Yeah. So
fresh-faced James Bond.
1 out of 3 is not bad.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty good about that.
What rules have a post office in Wales enforced in order to combat antisocial behaviour?
They're going to stamp down on it. Stamp. It's a post office.
It's been a long night, hasn't it?
Pushing the envelope there.
Anyone else know what they're doing?
They're fining people who don't say thank you or something.
Yeah, it's if they're grouchy, irritable, or just plain rude customers will be charged £10. I think it's brilliant. You can be like, £10. Here's 50. Now, what has sparked outrage amongst some visitors of the Yorkshire dungeons?
I know that. It's because of Dick Turpin, and some parents were upset that he's called Dick Turpin.
It's the correct answer. Why has a row been stirred over a £70,000 16th century Christopher Marlowe statue?
It hasn't been pulled down yet.
True.
So new statues in the UK are supposed to be placed directly in a canal to save demonstrators hurting themselves.
Yeah, it's not what's on the card.
Yeah.
It looks like the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean with the snakes on his face.
Yep, the uncanny resemblance to Pirates of the Caribbean sea monster character Davy Jones. And what will WhatsApp users now be able to do without anyone knowing?
Leave groups.
Is the correct answer, thank God. And that is the end of the quickfire round. The winners is the blue team. And that means that sadly we've also reached the end of the show. I can reveal that the overall winners are the Blues.
4 more years.
To the winners, your prize is a mini moon with Boris. And the losers, you won't be going away empty-handed. You get a full moon from Boris. Thanks to our team captains, Leo Kearse and Josh Howie. And to our guests this week, Andrew Doyle and Tom Deacon. I've been your host, Stephen Allen. We're off for a summer break while we'll be filming Ministry of Offence, the movie. Jason Statham is playing me, Ovs. Josh is being played by Jack Nicholson, and Leo is being played by Dean Gaffney. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, keep it offensive.